Hey everyone, I'm Emil and I'm from the YouTube channel Squidmar Minatures, and I paint miniatures in front of the camera for a living. So it came natural that PC Gamer asked me as a professional if I could introduce the brand new game Moonbreaker, a brand new strategy game that has been called a true miniatures experience. And that is something that manifests both in the gameplay, where you collect your own warbands with unit captains and crews, but also in the fact that it's the first digital miniature game where you can paint your own miniatures, instead of the physical ones that I normally paint in my daily job. So I brought out one of the minis that I've selected for my warband. This one is called Auxiliary, and whenever you're starting out to paint your first miniatures, I always recommend to give yourself an easy win. So we're gonna select a quite simple color scheme that's still gonna be quite effective. So to start things off, we're going to select our main color, and I want to paint something green because honestly that's one of my favorite colors. And to make things simple, we can use the color wheel and select the color that's on the opposite side of the green in the color wheel spectrum. In this case, it's red. So I'm going to start off with just painting the entire armor in green. So now we're going to do the complementary color, which was the red, and I want to have that on at least 3 different places on the miniature. This really helps your eye move around on the figure, and you can create sort of a triangle of interest with these red spots on the miniature. So let's start with the robe, and then we'll do the hair. Okay, we're going to make the sword red, but I want to add a more fiery effect to it, so we're going to paint it a little bit orange and then blend that down to yellow, furthest down on the sword where the core is, where the most heat is going to be. So to create this fiery effect, I actually pulled down the opacity of the brush quite a bit, and I used a stipple brush. That way I will have smoother transitions than if I just painted with the regular full opacity brush. And something you can keep in mind as well is that we don't just want to use these colors, but some of the other panels we need to separate from the greens, for example. And something that I found is using the saturated colors like grays, blacks, and whites is a great way to separate the different armor parts on a mini. If you're painting something a little bit more organic, a natural dark brown is another great way of separating different parts. Maybe if you have leather straps or belts and things like that, it's quite natural to just paint that either really desaturated and dark or brown. So it is for painting sort of a metallic sheen between each of the panels. As a final thing, I'm going to add a little bit of life to the panel. I'm doing this with something called chipping. So I'm just gonna paint a few scratches and stuff with a really dark brown. So now with the brown added, I want to add a little bit of a brighter highlight on the bottom side of each of these scratches. And I'm doing this with just a brighter green than we painted with originally. And that should be enough to just bring out the scratches and make it feel like it's part of a real environment as opposed to just like a digitally painted part. So with that, I guess we're ready to start slaying enemies with our miniature. If you're just into games, maybe you're not that into painting, throughout the game you can also earn unique paint jobs made by the game developers. You can get new paint palettes, decals, and exclusive unit skins, all throughout the first season at no cost. If you love miniature board games or just strategy games, there is no reason not to check out Moonbreaker, which is out now on Steam. And with that, Squidmar out. Have a great day. Bye bye.